Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Intellectual Podcast. I'm your host, David Dawson. With me tonight for our interview with Kelsey Crane is Carla Van Wagener.
Hello, everybody.
You may know Carla as our producer on the podcast and on our red carpet show, the Intellectual Red Carpet. And I've been trying more and more to get Carla to kind of break out of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
I'm coming out of my shell just a little bit more.
So she's sitting here with me, and today we interviewed actress Kelsey Crane, who's delightful.
Totally. She and I are going to be best friends, I think.
You keep saying that.
I know. I
wish it, make it happen. We will be friends.
We will.
She's going to listen to this episode and go, oh no, what have I done?
And maybe I should stop saying that because I don't want to get labeled a stalker.
But no, she was a complete delight to talk to. She's got this fantastic organization called Quench which helps actors find work when they're out of work. And because she realized as an actress who's trying to work in LA that some financial stability really helps.
Yes, and sometimes you're doing it on your own and you don't have a husband or a wife to turn around and go out and do the regular
or
day
a sister
job.
and brother-in-law like I got. Thank you, Teresa and Brian.
Yes, thank you.
And my mom. Thank you, Carlota. Yeah, it's tough to be an artist. Mm-hmm. And she's done this amazing thing where she's started up this collective that's helping artists.
Yeah, I have my day job to supplement my photography business. So, yeah, when I don't have enough gigs to pay for, I'm thankful I have a day job.
Yeah, so, but in addition to that, she's also a working actress, and she's currently on the TV show Chasing Life on ABC Family, and we talk a little bit about her experience on that. And she's got a movie coming out in 2015 called Cardinal Matter,
which sounds really interesting.
Yeah, so here it is on the 51st episode of the Intellectual Podcast, actress Kelsey Crane.
Talk hard and enjoy the mindgasm. The Intellectual Podcast starts now.
Hello.
Hi, Kelsey. Do you
Hi,
hear
Kelsey.
me?
Hi, guys. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. I hope your move went well.
It did. It's finally over. I needed to take an extra long shower just to get all the grime and everything off.
I know. That moving is so intense, but it's such a good cleansing thing. It's important to do.
Yes, I've been doing a lot of purging and making a lot of executive decisions and going, I'm not keeping it, I'm throwing it away, or I'm donating it.
Oh, good for you. That feels good.
I'm going from a very large room down to a very small room. I'm getting rid of all of my furniture except for my couch. I had a nice neighbor give me a brand new desk.
Wow.
Moving's not that hard for me. I spent so much time as a roadie. I have a hard time unpacking when I get somewhere. I've been in this place for 2 years and my stuff's all still in boxes and
living out of a
plastic
suitcase.
bins. Yeah. I don't know how to live any other way.
Well, that's wonderful. You're a man on the move. I like that.
Oh.
Well, he is a mover and a shaker.
There you go. There you go.
Kelsey, thanks for joining us on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So we were chatting a little bit before Carla managed to arrive. Just for the sake of our viewers, why don't you give us a little bit of your background? Where are you from? How'd you get into acting?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to. I'm from San Francisco, and I was definitely the little girl that had the Hollywood sign above my bed, which was a little bit ironic because I was such a shy little thing, and I had these big red glasses that I hid behind. And then in third grade, I got one line in the school play, and I made people laugh. And I just thought, oh, this is for me.
Third grade?
Third grade, yeah, that's when I knew.
I think that's when most kids figure out what they want to be in life, because it was about.
I wanted to be
time.
an astronaut in the third grade, or an astronomer. That
is so weird that you said that. I wanted to be all these things, and I said that to my acting teacher, and she said, "Oh, well, you're the perfect person then to be an actor. An actor gets to be all of those things."
That's true. Yeah. Well, anyway, continue. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. Please go. Continue.
Well, you saying you were from San Francisco?
Yeah, I was from San Francisco, and so I figured out in third grade that's what I wanted to do. My parents were like, "Really? You shy little thing?" And I said, "Oh, yeah." So I started studying up in the city at ACT, and I did as many plays as I could, of course, in high school, which was fun. We actually had a great little theater department. And then I went to USC and was a theater major, and we were just having a funny conversation about actually going to school to be a theater major. Sometimes I feel like it's one of those things that you kind of learn as in the doing. As wonderful as school was, I think the most valuable lessons I've learned have been always on the job or in the audition room. But I had an amazing time at USC, and USC is a really unique school in that their theater department's great, but and that was my original love, but I quickly kind of fell in love with film and television, and with the George Lucas and the Spielberg building there. I did about 50 mainly ridiculous student films that I'm hoping never surface ever.
We've done a few of those.
Yeah. I mean, I think in one I was wearing like a bald cap, and I was a clone of myself, and I'm like running around in front of Tommy Trojan with my friends just kind of looking at me like, okay, that's a life choice.
It's funny. When you talk about art, it takes a long time to get to where you are a really good artist, whether it's an actor or a painter or director or any of it. And early on, what you produce just isn't necessarily something you want to show people.
No, I think it comes from being comfortable within your own skin when you take on a different personality.
Completely. And, I used to think when I was a shy little third grader that, this is this amazing thing that I get to escape. I get to escape and be someone else. And then I realized in college that I think the strongest acting moments are actually when you find it within instead of finding it outside of yourself,
When it comes from a place of real instead of a place of performance. Yeah.
Yeah, what would make me, Kelsey, do and say that in those circumstances and say it just like that? And that's the real fun discovery process. And you get to really learn deeply about yourself. When I was little, I thought it was escapism. And then when I was older, I really thought, okay, this is really about knowing yourself. And so I figured myself out in some crappy films there. And my acting teacher for a long time, Howard Fine, said that, really the difference between theater and film and television is just an adjustment to space. It's just an adjustment to space. And on film, if you blink your eye, it can speak volumes, where on theater, that won't register in the same way. And you have to play to a bigger house. And it took me a while to figure out what that adjustment meant for me as an artist, and I was really thankful to have a lot of films to try that out on.
Well, I imagine it would be hard to be at USC as a theater major with all that film history staring you in the face everywhere you go.
Yeah, it was, it was inspiring and great, and everyone there is kind of, it was like a little mini LA, and in that way I was so grateful it kind of prepared me for entering the audition world in LA. And, in LA, you go into any coffee shop and there's computers popped open and, everyone's writing their role and their new screenplay.
Yeah, I'm guilty of having done that a bit the last few months myself.
Hey, you know what? That is so important. I think generating your own stuff is amazing. And the way to go. And you see people all the time that have incredible success with that. So it's inspiring and a little daunting. And in San Francisco, when you tell someone you're an actor, they say, "Oh my God, that's so cool. What's that like?" In LA, you tell someone you're an actor and they say, "Me too."
Yeah.
I mean, which is inspiring.
Or I recognize you from that audition. Yeah. Okay, fine.
Yeah. Yes. Or were we in acting class together? Or, I saw you on that headshot wall. Everyone is kind of connected in that way. And, I actually think there's a really strong community of artists in LA that I'm really grateful for. And it doesn't get talked about that much, but I think there's a real synergy there.
Well, we had the pleasure of covering a bunch of stuff with Sci-Fest a couple months ago.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that? go to it at all?
I did a little bit, not enough, but I love sci-fi. So tell me more.
It was so cool because they had some really great, like, iconic names
that you've only seen on television,
that you've seen in television shows,
film, and
X-Files, Babylon 5, Star Trek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer. They had these guys all on stage together, and you think, gosh, this is amazing to have all these people together, until you get a chance to actually talk to them like we did, and you come to realize that it is a tiny community. They all know each other. They're all very respect each other. And yeah, they admire each other's work, and they're all super excited to have a chance to work with one another. It was kind of cool. It was a nice little glimpse into that community that you're talking about.
And it was really cool to see them out of the small little box that we're used to viewing them in, and seeing them really stretch their talents.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool. And I just actually, I'm sad I missed this year. I'm definitely going to have to make next. I just wrapped a film that I shot in Wyoming, in Du Bois, Wyoming, which is a very teeny tiny, it's actually the most isolated township in the United States, which was so cool to film there. But I shot a sci-fi thriller. And it was my first sci-fi project that I've done, and I've always loved sci-fi. So,
which one was that?
It's a film called Cardinal Matter. It's an independent film, and with filmmakers that won called Front Galley Productions, and they won the Wyoming Film Festival last year and used their seed money to make this film. And it's just a really cool story, and it's less kind of alien space invasion and more about technology and developments in the scientific world, and nanotechnology and all of that. So it was really interesting, just intellectually getting to do that research. And the sci-fi community, I think, is pretty cool. I really, I just started watching Battlestar Galactica, and how amazing is that show?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh my goodness, the technology.
You're just now starting to watch
awesome.
That?
I know. I'm very far behind, but what a show. I really have had the best time watching it. I thought the acting was spectacular too.
Well, in a way, I'm kind of jealous of you because, it was so long ago for me that I watched it, because I watched the original. I watched the original when it ran originally, and I watched the new Battlestar when it ran originally.
And I got into Catholic.
And I wish I could go back and rediscover that feeling of watching that stuff for the first time,
Yeah.
Well, it was awesome, let me tell you.
Yeah,
and I'm not even done yet.
Yeah, my guilty pleasure right now is Big Love, because I watched it during the original run, and now I'm rewatching all the reruns, and that's my guilty pleasure right now.
Big Love. I actually have I had a small part in one episode on Big Love, and it was like, oh my God, this is amazing. It was a really fun show to shoot, and all of those actors were amazing. Especially the woman that played Barb, she was amazing.
Oh yeah, her name is just totally blanking on me right now. But
I'm going to look at it right now. But it's Jeannie. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I'm forgetting.
Oh, I would never be able to pronounce her last name.
Yes, I know.
But she was just on Criminal Minds too, and that's another one of my guilty pleasures.
Yes, I like also SVU unit, Law and Order. I love that too.
You're talking about Jeannie Triplehorn?
Yeah.
Yes, thank
Triplehorn.
you. My goodness.
Yes.
Yeah, Triplehorn. Jean Triplehorn. She's just gorgeous and amazing, and what a sweet, wonderful person too.
Oh, good. Who else have you managed to work with that you can look up to and walk away with that feeling of, wow, now I'm inspired?
Yeah, you know what? I've gotten to work with Christian Slater, who was amazing and so full of energy and such a professional. He was really wonderful, and I was really inspired by him. But I have to say, most notably, I think it's very recent. I have a recurring part on ABC Family show called Chasing Life, which just aired I think they played the fourth episode. It's ABC Family 9/8 Central on Tuesdays. So it was the fourth episode this Tuesday. And I'm so inspired by the lead of the show. She's an actress named Italia Ricci, and she's